Hey guys, and welcome to Campy's Clash. Today, I'm bringing you a map tutorial of one of my favorite maps, Portstorm. This video is going to have a few sections. First of all, we're gonna have the theory that I'm going to show you in Paint, which is coming up right next. And then I'm going to show you some actual gameplay. So stick around, this is going to be a great video. So now we're gonna take a look at the theory. Now, if you're a beginner, please watch this. If you are a novice, you should still watch this because you know, this is where I explain all the positions and the little tricks you can do in this game. Alright, so let's start out with the south side. Now, the south side spawns somewhere around here. This is the place you spawn in, and let's start with the let's start off with the MBTs. Let's pick green. Green's a good color. Now, yeah, let's take green. Now, basically, your biggest battle as an MBT is around this. Okay. Now, this is the place where you have to be at the start. Right. So there are a lot of positions you can be in. If you're in a tank that doesn't really have really strong armor and doesn't have like big alpha damage, then you should stay behind here and just support your guys. I would suggest doing this in the Chieftain or the Leopard or something like that, maybe the OF40. Then you can go to this position behind the crates here, and if you're really feeling like really frisky, you can go over here. Now this is a bit more aggressive, but it works probably the best because then you have pretty free shots on the people that are right here, and the enemy should be somewhere around here, so there's gonna be a big crossfire for you right here. So there are a couple more positions right here and maybe in these crates, but I wouldn't suggest going here because then you can get shot from two directions. So let's just take a couple of steps back. So the starting positions here, here. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. All right, that's better. So the starting positions are going to be here. If you're feeling really good, you can go right here on the side of the house. And I would suggest going here. You maybe just one MBT or something like that. It's something that has good turret armor, so you can battle or hold the guys that are on the hill and maybe shoot at the guys in these directions. And another thing I would suggest doing is, if you're in a tank that really doesn't have really great armor or you just don't feel comfortable enough, there could be one tank fighting around here. Now, if you're in this position or on the side of the warehouse, as long as you don't die, you're good. But, you know, I would really focus on the town bit. But if you don't feel your skills are good enough, then, you know, one main MBT is forgivable in this place. Right, next up we've got the AFVs and the light tanks. Basically anything that's really fast and probably has an ATGM now. First of all, I would recommend rushing to here, but this is very high risk and high reward. Now, what you can do is, you could go here on this hill roady bit, get a bit higher, and shoot straight at the guys and the MBTs right here. Now, remember, because you can see them, they can see you as well. So this shouldn't be like a permanent thing. You should just come here and take a couple of shots at them. Maybe I usually do one or two if I feel really confident in my position, and then I just back down and I start finding the guys either on the hill, or I go way off the hill and I start to use these rocks as cover. Now, using these rocks has a couple of advantages. I'm sorry, I can't speak. First of all, you can shell shock all of these people right here. Now, there's going to be a lot of enemy tanks right here, and it's not going to be easy shooting at them, but if anybody tries to advance, then you should be ready to kill them. And another thing you can do from that position is, of course, halt the enemy flank, which is coming down on the opposite side of this hill. That's overall all you can do in that position. The last thing I started to do a lot more, and did I mention I've done it a lot more, is I just go straight to this place right here. And in my opinion, this is where the light tanks and the AFVs should be. Some people may not agree with me, but you should be going right about here. Now, I wouldn't suggest going here alone, so that's why you should probably play in platoons or just chat with your teammates and, you know, get your teammates to get into this position. If you take over this position, and it's not going to be easy, maybe the enemy are going to rush, but they usually don't. The enemy usually stay on the other side of the tracks, but you could run into them. I don't guarantee you safety. So, when you go into this magic triangle, you're gonna have ridges, and you can use those ridges to your advantages. First of all, I think this is a commonly made mistake. People feel like their primary target is the enemies that are sitting right over here. It's not. Your primary target is to take out the guys on the hill. Of course, shooting at the guys that are right here doesn't hurt, but I feel like you should probably try to take out the hill. If there's not much activity on the hill, then you can try to use this ridge, use the rocks and bushes to maybe kill these guys. Remember that there's a lot of little bits and gaps between those train pieces, so you should be really careful and, you know, watch out for those positions because the enemy might be not careful. And, you know, it's just a who's more careful here. No. All you have to do is pretty much aim your shots and win. But I do feel like this is a must position for light tanks and AFVs. Alright, and last of all, we have the tank destroyers. Now, the tank destroyers play a big supporting role, and, you know, the tank destroyers, or wheel destroyers as some people call them, you know, it's the correct way to call it now. First of all, as I explained with the light tanks, you can use your tank destroyer to go right here, put a couple of shots into the MBTs that are coming down here, or down here, and just get the hell out. And you can also play here, so this position is actually identical to how you could play out with your light tank. Now, you could take your wheel destroyer, sit right here, and shoot at the guys on this flank. If you're feeling really good about yourself in position and you feel like you should move up, then you could get into this position. But this position is quite difficult to play because you can take fire from these guys right here and there's no real route to escape other than to fall back, and that's a couple of 60 meters going backwards, so you can get shot easily, but you can put up great fire at these guys right here. Now the biggest thing I think is you should be right here behind the rocks. Now I did say that MBTs can come here, they can, but I don't really think it works because they need to be in a town. This is the place where the wheel destroyers come in, because using these rocks and these bushes, they can easily put up fire onto these guys. And if these guys try to push on the scouts that are right here, they should deal with you trying to put up fire on them. So, you know, you can see how this all collides together, and you can really see how this is a team effort. So your main objective is just to protect tanks, protect your own tanks, and not let the enemy advance up. And another thing I could suggest is maybe, just maybe, to go right over here or even here and just try to put up some fire on the guys that are in this zone. Now, this isn't really a really necessary position, but if you feel like there's not enough tanks in this place right here, then you should probably go down this position and try to just assist your MBTs. Now let's take a look at the northern side. First of all, you're gonna spawn somewhere around here. Let's again start with the MBTs. Now for this side we're gonna pick the color red because it's the enemy. Right, so what you're gonna do with your MBTs is, from what you probably realized, is fight somewhere around here. Again, there are a couple positions you could go to. First of all, you could go right up here and you can use this train line. This is a good position. If you can use the train successfully, you can put up fire onto these guys. But just be careful. There could be enemy tanks sitting right here putting fire upon you. But it's not really gonna work out for them. It may not work out for you because they're just gonna suicide trying to kill you, but you know, you should really use that train line over there. And another thing I would recommend doing is going to these containers right here. This is a good position. You can shoot at the guys advancing up from here that are on the hill, and you can shoot at these guys, and you can shoot at these guys in the front, and if the enemy are advancing, you can even shoot here. So this is a position I feel like you should take up in your MBT. Now, same as the other side, you can of course go here, but you know, it just wouldn't work out. You need mobility here. If you're gonna get stuck in, you're just gonna get buried from the guys that are sitting right here, so it's not going to end well. If you're playing a sniperish tank, again, like the Leopard, like the OF40, maybe the Chieftain, but the Chieftain doesn't really work. You can go here on this road and try to put up fire on the guys that are right here in this magic triangle that we talked about. You can also shoot at the guys here, covering them, and you can move up on the hill and try to push down from the hill over here. So this position is it's quite fancy, but I wouldn't recommend too many tanks going down here. Alright, now let's take a look at what the scouts and the light tanks should do. Okay, so this is actually quite easy. You just have to take up this place. Now, there are a lot of ridgelines you can play with, so you know, just take that in mind. You should really use those ridgelines because they can really work to your advantage or to your disadvantage. Now, there's a lot of really stupid hills right here that can really bug the hell out of new players, but you just have to get used to them. And remember, when you're sitting in this area, you are really vulnerable to the guys that are sitting right here and trying to snipe you. So if you're trying to sit here, you can also put up a crossfire over here, but you know, you're much more vulnerable to them than they are to you because they have better cover and you're on the top of the ridge. So you know, it could be a two-way situation. Really depends on your personal skill level. Now, you can really use this whole ridgeline and the train tracks to your advantage. The only thing I would recommend is having about 3 to 4 vehicles here and maybe just one tank over here because you don't really need that much in this area. An interesting thing I could do is show you that, you know, I just show you that main battle tanks only go here, but you know, they don't only go here. You can use this ridgeline right here to try to snipe the guys again to here. But you know, a lot of light tanks, not AFV so much, should be on the hill supporting their main battle tanks. There's a position here that you can shoot from at the guys that are right here. And you know, I really think that this hill should be a position that you should hold. Overall, about light tanks, that's it. It's not rocket science. It's not that difficult to explain how to play light tanks, but it's more difficult to play them from this side. And again, the last but definitely not the least, Wield the Destroyers. Now, the first position I would recommend, which I personally, I'll be honest, I haven't yet tried, but I've seen a lot of people doing successfully in it, is go right over here. Now there's, as you can see, right here are the containers and right here is a house, and you can shoot right through the middle of it to the MBTs that are right here. You can also move up a little bit to the left and shoot at the guys right here, and you can shoot at the guys over here that are trying to kill your main battle tanks. So this is a position that should require more skill, as you need to be aware of the map and what's going on and how the game is proceeding. But the real position again is right over here, together with the scouts, the light tanks and the AFVs. This position, as I mentioned, is very risky, but I can't really explain it, but it works for these tanks. Now, I've crushed a lot of LAVs that are inexperienced and are just right out on the top of the ridge. You should take a pot shot at these guys, leave, go up to another location and shoot at the guys here, return back and again shoot at the guys there. So you should really move around like this. And again, together with the light tanks and the AFVs, you should try to take up the hill. Now, a few things I can recommend for both sides. A position that is really necessary to take up is the hill, but having too many people here will end up in a result that's not good for you. You're just gonna lose instantly. Now, there are a couple of spots that artillery can fire at really easily. One of them is this spot. You should watch out for this place. If you see that there's a lot of artillery in the gameplay, you know, you shouldn't be too keen to try to go here. Artillery also can shoot this place, well, basically this whole area, so you should be quite worried. Artillery from this side can shoot all of these tanks. Now, there are containers here, but they're not going to be lifesavers. The RT has good splash, so there's a good chance that it's gonna nibble off your health slowly, and you could even die from this. This area is really necessary to take up, since you can just go around, kill the artillery for both sides of course, and take up the hill. When you take up the hill, you can shoot all of these guys. These are the key things in my opinion: taking up this middle and taking the hill. This side, while it is really important, I don't feel it's as valuable as the MBTs taking up this side. Of course, if you have a team that doesn't have too many main battle tanks, you probably shouldn't go here and should take up this place, but that's all for you to decide. If you're having a really light team, you should probably try to push this side out while the enemy are working here. This works for both sides. And now let's take it some actual gameplay. Alright, now we've got some real and actual gameplay. Now this is a game I had in my Sheridan. I'm playing this game alone, and I'm in the south side. Now I immediately use my tank's boost, and I'm trying to get to the center of the map. Now this is going to really show you how brutal the environment in this map can be. I've had better situations in this tank, but I haven't saved the games, and Well, I do have some better, but this is going to really show you what could happen. Now I'm moving into my position standard stuff. I have an ARSV coming with me, and surprise, surprise, there's a tank destroyer on the hill. We trade damage. I take a bit more than I should have taken. I kill him, but you know, he shaved off a lot of health instantly. Now I'm thinking of poking here, but the artillery is shooting at me now. Not a great start, 544 health. Looking at, can I take a shot? Nah, he was just too far. But he did drive on the top of that ridge, so really saw how this could have worked out for him if he would have decided to stay there. Now, let me just pause for a second right here. Let's take a look at the minimap. There should be another guy with that XM800T, but really our positioning is quite okay. We have main battle tanks driving up into these positions. We have tank destroyers supporting our XM800T, and we've got guys covering the hill ridgeline thingy, and I'm just waiting for targets to appear. Not really sure about the enemy's positioning, but their positioning is okay as well. Now, you see that the AMX drove out. I didn't get a shot on him, but you can easily damage someone. And they hit me again really, really bad. And, you know, I'm getting worried because I'm getting blasted. And I finally take a shot at the AMX Stimpy. So, I lost nearly all of my health in the first couple of minutes. Now it has been 2 minutes. Take a shot at the AMX. He takes in more shots at me, and you can really see how brutal this is. Everyone can fire at me, and well, really, I can fire at everybody else. If there would be someone else with that XM800T, they would have probably spotted someone on the enemy side, and I'm just waiting for the enemy to go and to make a mistake. And I'm really waiting for them to get into my claws. Now you can see that the town is being pushed up really fast, and I don't manage to get a shot on the AMX advancing up there. Now the thing is with my team, we're not really doing everything we could have been doing in this side. Look at the left side, you know, only now we're trying to push aggressively and the enemy have the upper hand. And I don't have much HP to take, so I just camp. And you can look at those XM800Ts, they are just battling it out in their side. It's a 2-on-1 battle. Now they're trying to disperse because they're under a reload. Now this is a cute little game. I'm playing in my Object 155. I've got Grandmaster 5 in the Leopard 1 and Strikers in the LAV 100. I am playing in a platoon, as you probably could have told. I am on the northern side, and this isn't a normal battle. This is encounter, so we have spawned somewhere different, but the positions basically stay the same. And I decided I'm going to go for the tracks. You can look at the Strikers in the LAV. He's gonna move up into a position that he finds suitable for his tank. And Grandmaster 5 is a new player, so I recommended a position for him as a sniper MBT. And boy, did this all go wrong. You just wait. First of all, there are AFVs moving up into the town. Okay, I get the XM800T, he's just trying to spot and getting the hell out of here. The rest of these guys are staying. All of our MBTs are going somewhere I don't even know where. Now we don't have a lot of MBTs and they're not here, so that is a big problem. I'm just looking for shots, trying to get something. And they are just not advancing. They are not on the left side of the craters, and they're they're not advancing up, so I don't really have many shots here. Oops. There they are. And I take a shot at the T-62. Now they are really aggressive. There's a lot of MBTs from the enemy team pushing straight on us. And, well, this just isn't going to end too well. We don't have, only now the MBTs have moved up. I take a shot at the hill, and the only reason the enemy are doing so well is because they're pushing and there's a lot of them. Striker has reported to me that he's playing the LAV on the other side of the map. He's trying to push on that XM800T, but the BMPs weren't just supporting him, so 3 tanks couldn't push out 1 tank on the other side. And what happened is the enemy are slowly taking over the hill. They are taking over the town, and we're just gonna get screwed over in the first 3 minutes of the battle. I die, and we lost this game. Alright, so the last game I'm going to show you is me playing the Leopard and Striker is playing the M60. This is a 2-man platoon, and again, we are playing encounter, so we are in a bit of a different position. If this would have been a standard battle, we would have spawned in the J0 and the I0 quadrants. And I'm saying, okay, I'm a main battle tank, I'm top tier. I could take up a scouting position because, well, not a scouting, a supporting position because I'm a Leopard, but since I am a top tier main battle tank, it's my duty to go right in the center. I am driving further and further in this position, and Strikers is doing the same thing. We are moving up in the town. We've got way too many guys fighting the ridgeline and trying to push it. Now I'm moving up a little bit to the left side because I feel that there's a lot of guys on the hill and there's not many guys in the town. And I really shouldn't be going alone there, but I can't really leave Strikers alone, so I'm going to these containers. I suggested this position and I didn't say it was a really good one, but sometimes it just works out. Now, what's going on here? We've got way too many guys up on the hill. And they're not pushing, they're just sitting there doing nothing. So all I'm left to do is training shots. Now this dragon is going to demonstrate why it isn't so good to go into main battle tank city. He's just gonna get wrecked, and I take a shot at the M60, penetrates, good for me, yay. We got enemy MBTs on the bridge over there. There's enemy Scorpions on the B0, B1 lines, and probably more AFVs and light tanks, and we've got no one spotting them, so those guys are just easily shooting our guys on the hill. Now the guys on the hill are still sitting, doing absolutely nothing, waiting for miracles to happen, and they're not going to happen, trust me. I don't penetrate the shot on the Leopard, and, well, you can see how this might work out. The enemy have way too many, well, they have exactly the right amount of MBTs in the town, and we're just 2 MBTs, and the T-62 way on the other side of the town bit. Strikers is moving up closer to me, but it just really isn't going to end too well. Yeah, I killed this guy, but I could tell you we lost this battle really bad. For one reason, we didn't take up the left side now. It isn't a must, but you should hold up, at least hold the left flank. We didn't have enough people in the town. We had a lot of people on the bridge. They were showing their sights to the MBTs that are at the at the train tracks or somewhere around there. Now our team together really didn't position too well. Now I'm taking a lot of kills, a lot of damage, but this isn't just going to end too well. So this is the end of the video. I hope this game brought some clarity to where you should position in your battles. This has been Campy. and I'll see you next time.